What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Gibles-N-Bits. We're here today with a little Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. It's going to be like a walkthrough with a little bit of, just continuing on how our trek was going. We had our video go out on us while we were recording the game footage. So we have some salvage clips of that same footage. So we'll go through those while we continue on. So last time we had gotten on top of this high area here and had just gotten a horse and done some exploring, and now we see this little island out there in the middle of the water. We decide to glide out there, and on top of that there's just a tiny rock, and we have found ourselves another Korok and another Korok seed. Those are always really nice to have. So we just decided to keep going across the water there in a kind of southeast direction and head toward the tower that we can see off in the distance. But on our way we've got some Bokoblins that are blocking our path, and we just dispatched them pretty easy. And then there's some water on the left here that we see, and out there is a chest. So we use our new freeze ability to bring the chest out of the water and hop on out and go get that. Nothing too special in there. Moving on, we see a rock blocking our path to a little item in the tower, but we accidentally blow ourselves up with the bomb instead. So when we get back, we open it up, and in there is a soldier spear. It is decent, but also nothing too much to worry about. From here we just decide to climb up the Dueling tower. It's called that because there's a couple rocks poking up on the sides of it. It's a long climb, but it opens up more area of the map, and we get some new functionality. It's the last rune for our Sheikah slate, and it's the Sheikah sensor, and this lets us have kind of a radar for shrines as we go along. So from the tower we decide to jump down on the ledge on the wall over there and keep moving in that southeast direction, and then we get to the Re-Dahi shrine. You can see in that image there that we have a less well salvaged picture of the footage that we were dealing with when we recorded this episode. So inside the Re-Dahi shrine, it's called the trial itself is called Timing is Critical. So we walk down the ramp and grab a ball that's down there and bring it back up with us. There's a platform that moves another ball far away down to the other place that one should go, and it locks in. This lets the platform next to us move back and forth, and we are able to go across. In this next little puzzle here, we have to step on the switch there to lower the platform and then hop back off of it at just the right time in order for the ball to launch over to its spot that it goes. After we do this, we stasis the button down so that when we go across, we can go up the ramp and get the chest that's ahead of us there. And inside of that is the climber's bandana, which I am just super stoked about. Been wearing that ever since this. It increases your climbing speed, so now we have more stamina and more climbing speed, and we look pretty cool and are still shirtless, so that is awesome. With that taken care of, we can walk up to the end of the shrine and speak to Re-Dahi and get our next spirit orb. Then back again outside the shrine, we just hop on down and get another traveler's bow, nothing too fancy there, and encounter a big group of Bokoblins. These ones are surrounded by barrels, but we mess it up a little bit and try throwing some bombs in there. And we just get in the fight, but this blue one here, ooh, he gets us, and we have another game over. Being shirtless can be rough sometimes. But back at it again, and this time we actually blow up the barrels properly with a fire arrow and hop on up and get the Boomerang from the chest that we were rewarded with. The Boomerang is an interesting weapon. You can slash it like a sword, and you can throw it, and it does come back, but you have to actually catch it with the A button. So after some failing and some practice, we see an Octorok up in the water ahead and actually kill him via this method, which is pretty awesome. Up ahead we have the Ha-Dahamar shrine. This one's got some spikes in front of it, which we found out that you just touch those and you get hurt. But that's okay, and after thinking about it for a second, we realize that we can just freeze the water right in front of it, climb on up our ice pillar, and hop on over the spikes and go on in. Inside the shrine here, the water guides, we just have to use some ice pillars to climb up the path ahead of us. We do that, and if we turn around up here, we find a chest with a purple rupee in it. Up ahead we see this on the left. Stairway. We head on up, and we go up there and look around, and I don't see anything. So after a while just being confused and looking at the ball rolling down the side of the waterfall over there on the right, we decided to just walk on over there. So we create some ice pillars and head on up. There's a interesting little tilty, kind of like seesaw-y thing right there, and we keep climbing up. And our goal here is to get this giant ball down into the giant ball holder down below. So we have to redirect it with our ice pillars. So after a bunch of trial and error, we finally get the ice pillars in the correct positions, stasis the seesaw, and let it roll down into the hole ahead of us. And as we're standing way up here by where the hat lands, we're like, oh, I could just jump back over there, glide on over. And that's when I realized you're supposed to do all that from way over there, so it's much, much easier on you. But it is what it is. And we have gotten ourselves another spirit orb. So back outside, we decide to climb up the waterfall that is right behind the shrine behind us. This takes quite a while, actually. It takes like a good 5 minutes to get all the way up top. Do some climbing while I'm not recording. Try to hop over the waterfall edge, and then I just don't quite make it. Fall all the way back down. But here at Gibles-N-Bits, we do not give up. So after some frustration, we start all over. The problem with this is that you have to start with some ice pillars straight up and down out of the water in order to get there, then climb up them back and forth all the way up. I just had a strong feeling that there would be a really good item at the top of this waterfall, maybe, you know, like a weapon or something. But unfortunately, we walk around for a little bit in the water. This time we made the jump and we don't see anything. So what do? We climb the mountain that's right behind it. That's right. We have not climbed this high yet, so we decide to climb as high and high as we can go. And the problem with climbing really high is that you have less places to stand at some point. And then it decided to rain on me, and this is the first time it's rained while I've been climbing. Rain makes it so that Link can't really hold on to vertical ledges. So after a bunch of slipping around, I figure I'm high enough, and we decide to jump off and glide on down. We actually land on the head of this stable here, which is the Dueling Peak stable, which is a good thing because actually if you do that, right on top there is another Korok. You can get another Korok seed. So we decide to explore the stable. As a fellow Hino, he tells us about the Blood Moon, which we'll find out about in first-hand experience in an upcoming episode. And encounter our first inn, sleep on a bed, and talk to Sagessa, who tells us about elixirs. Over in the corner we see Beetle, who lets us know that he can buy our gemstones, so now we know what to do with those, get real good money out of that. And talk to Prison and Domadak, who give us, well, I should say, who reluctantly give us a quest to find some treasure if we can figure out where it is. So then here we talk to the owner of the Dueling Peak stables, and he lets us know about how to save horses for use in the future, which is awesome. And then a lot of the rest of the video cuts out, but the main thing that happens is we finally find who we are going to give the Korok seeds to. And this fellow here, his name is Hestu, and he is a giant Korok, and he has lost his maracas, so we go over and get those. And then after that, give them back, but he realizes there's nothing in there to shake him with, and he takes the Korok seeds, and in return for those, he gives us more inventory space. So we actually had enough Korok seeds to get a couple more slots in our weapon inventory, which is fantastic. After that, we just keep going a little bit farther down the road and make our way to Kakariko Village, which is where we'll pick up in our next episode. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you coming on back. Next time, we're going to be doing some great exploring, some big enemy fighting. It's going to be awesome. So hit me up with a like and subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome. Come on. Come on, baby.
I see. So you've lost your memory. Well, it matters not. In fact, that may actually be a blessing in disguise for the time being.